Gentlemen, and you kind of pick your own order, or I can point at you, whatever you prefer. But let's have a little discussion with Brian. Rob.
So I like the site. I played around with it a little bit last night. I think that if I remember correctly, the market for the number of households that have a PC or used PC or watching TV is a pretty massive number, like north of 50%.
Yeah, it's about 73%.
So yeah, that is, so you're obviously going after a big market. But the question I really have is, so what's the pain point here? What problem are you solving for people? I played around with it for a little while and I couldn't figure out, what I would use it for, or why I would use it, and why I should care.
So the pain point that we've kind of figured out from the focus group testing that we have is that, first of all, consumers want control of the experience. They want to pick and choose what content that they have on the experience. The second thing is they want the convenience of everything in one page. Because if they have to, if you go to other second screen experiences, you have to click through multiple pages. So for example, the NHL had 15 different pages of content, and consumers want it all on one screen. The other thing is the ability to kind of save it so you can go back to the next game and it's all done. What ends up happening is that people are watching the broadcast and they have to go look for stuff, they disengage, and particularly in sports like hockey and basketball, you're missing stuff that's going on. The thing that we've also found out is that people want content related to what they're watching, but they also want it for other programs that are going on at the same time. So we're kind of moving in this direction to mash up those experiences. So I think it's giving them the control and giving them the convenience of the experiences, the key things that we're addressing.
I would first of all, big sports fan as well, and I kind of echo a little bit of what Rob was saying in this question, because when I take a look at it, I guess one thing I would ask is that without the relationship with the networks or the leagues themselves, do you feel like, this is something, big media is definitely in this space to some degree.
Right.
So are you concerned at all about them providing something similar that is tied more to the broadcast and a little more interactive that could provide a better user experience?
No, because actually at this point in time, we've done a deal with the NHL. We're going to be up on all 30 NBA team sites this fall. We've done a deal with Comcast Sportsnet, with Big Ten Network, with Raycom Sports. So I think the point really was that we didn't have to work with them to make this work. So if they're the gatekeepers for our business, that's a big problem. But in this case, we were able to launch it without them, then we can say, hey, look what we've created. When we walk in the door, they're like, we don't have anything like this. How can we have this on our sites? So we've, instead of making them competitors, we've made them partners.
What kind of all the baseball games or all the football games, what percentage do you cover? Do you cover them all?
Everything. Yep.
What's your error rate on things like the Johan Franz example, right? Where how often do you get a search results displayed that has absolutely nothing to do with the game, and there's another Johan Franz who isn't a hockey player, and that comes up in your results?
None that I'm aware of at this point in time. There's not been any criticism from people internally or externally. What's interesting is you've got AP and Getty now with the photographers who are taking photos live at games and uploading them into their system, so we're able to pull photos live from those games. So when you look at kind of the prioritization, we'll take those live photos from that game first, and then kind of degrade down from there, and it's usually enough to kind of fill the coffers.
And then sort of putting on my Fox Sports hat, I like the X through the Fox Sports in the presentation. That's a nice touch. I totally understand the strategy of creating a product and then going to large studios / corporate media giants and saying, hey, look what we got. Doing that with the counter ad strategy in place, I would take that off the plate, because granted, large media companies haven't done the best job to date of getting the most out of web advertising, but if you're coming at it already with a product in place that goes against the broadcast advertising, I think that will make your conversation a little more difficult.
Oh, sure. No, I agree with you. I mean, what we've done is by putting this on our partner sites, then their ad sales teams can go out and sell it, and then we basically get a cut of everything that they sell. So they're able to take it out to their advertising partners that they already have and take something cool and different that they otherwise wouldn't have that's tied indirectly to the broadcast. So we've made it a win-win situation.
On your testing focus group so far, what type of content are you finding the most gets people going the most? Like, I'm a hockey fan, but for me, I can't imagine. I mean, I imagine like during the commercials, I'd just sit there reading stuff. During the actual game, I'd be on, glued to the screen. What are you finding?
Well, it depends on the game, how close the game, if your team's winning, if your team's losing. Our average kind of time on site right now is running anywhere from 27 to 33 minutes a session. And the product acts like a data DVR, so if you don't want to go and read stuff, all the stuff gets collected so you can go back in time. And a lot of people in sports, they show up at the end of the game, like at the hockey game last night. Like our numbers just went through the roof in the last, whatever, and basically people started showing up in the overtimes. And then they'll go back to find out what happened, how did they get there.
Got it. So is that like a slider or history bar or something to look at?
It depends on what the widget is. So you can go pick, go back to, first period or second